Cal had long-term plans. He had short-term plans. In no way did he desire to harm himself. We're certain of that.
He made a mistake. You know, it used to be kids made mistakes and learned from them. With fentanyl, if you make a mistake, you die. I'm Jennifer Epstein, and this is my husband, John. We have lived in Beaverton since 1996 and raised our kids in this area. Our kids went to Cedar Park Middle School as well as Sunset High School. That's right, happy birthday, Callie. Callie's eating his birthday breakfast. What do you have for breakfast today, Callie?
I don't know.
Cal, as a young kid, he lived large.
He's so cute.
Cal was a fun kid, very much an extrovert.
And how old are you? 32.
He liked to distinguish himself from others. He liked to have a brighter jacket or a different hat. He liked to stand out. He did t-ball, he did kick and chase soccer, he did karate and wrestling. He was a great wrestler with the Sunset Youth Wrestling Program. I don't think he ever lost a match. And then basketball, he did that. He was a really good swimmer. He became a lifeguard and then taught swim lessons. He was a great athlete, but that wasn't his love. He moved more towards the theater, performing, and then he actually really enjoyed the backstage, the lights and sound and crew and that sort of work.
He was a kid who brought people together.
Everybody, ready for pack 3?
He was a kid who always wanted to have people at our house.
Friendship was like one of Cal's superpowers.
He was always looking out for the person who might feel left out and reaching out to them and making sure that they were included. There was one girl who was going through a hard time, and at school every single day he sought her out every morning and gave her a hug because he knew she was going through a hard time. As
we came into senior year, we found some marijuana at the beginning of the year. In our house, we've had lots of talks about drugs, and there was a no tolerance policy, even in the face of normalized marijuana use, legalization, et cetera. And we had, we had a pretty serious, long, and what we thought was a good conversation with Cal about that. There were consequences, and we didn't see any more evidence of marijuana.
Later, senior year, we did discover that Cal was having more problems in terms of anxiety, and then we also discovered he had an eating disorder.
It was sort of around the combination of those things. We're like, wow, this feels a little larger than us and the pediatrician. And Cal wanted to work on these things, and we ended up finding some professional help, and we worked on those things from the early spring through the summer until he left for school. COVID made it harder. Not only were your meetings with your therapist about anxiety on a screen, but Cal was so social, and COVID really made that part of Cal's life harder. Ultimately, we, together with Cal and his therapist and professionals, decided going to college this feels like a good path. So we were really looking forward to Cal being home for Christmas. He came home on a Thursday in mid-December and was going to be home through mid-January. On Monday morning, we checked on Cal and we found him unresponsive, and we started CPR and we called the paramedics. It wasn't enough. best we can tell, he sought out some oxy from the street dealer on Snapchat. And I think it could be that he wanted to take some edge off of his anxiety from being home and gonna have some parent conversation. It's possible he just was looking to have fun, just a good time. Cal thought he was taking an OxyContin, and he ended up with fentanyl. So now you have cheap fentanyl. That's what these pills are. There is no real pill out there. It doesn't make sense for anyone to sell a real pharmaceutical pill when they can manufacture a fake one. Sell it for the same price and have it cost 100 times less. They're not OxyContin, they're not Percocet, they're not Xanax. They're none of these things. They are fake pills that have inconsistent amounts of deadly fentanyl, and you can't trust any of them. And so the game is completely changed, especially for kids who are going through an experimental phase. An experimental phase is now deadly. If you're experimenting with pills and powders and even vaping marijuana, which I've heard can also have fentanyl. Just that one pill can kill.
Even if you didn't know Cal, everybody has a Cal in their life. If we had known, better understood it, we would have talked to our kids differently. And I think that there's still opportunity to save other people. For me, getting the message out, it will never bring Cal back. My son isn't coming back. It is something that in me that I need to do in order for me to move forward, in order for me to know that I've done everything I can to honor Cal, because he didn't deserve this.